In 2019, we were introduced to a little movie called After, based on Harry Styles fanfiction from Anna Todd, starring Josephine Langford and Hera Fies Tiffin. And then year after year, we got sequels in the case of After We Collided, After We Fell. And this is supposed to be, initially, the last one of the series. And honestly, I'm just going to say it now. I don't care if there's a fifth one. This is where I'm going to stop. What's going on, everyone? This is Joshua, Future Filmmaker Reviews. I talk movies, TV, and music, giving you guys my thoughts on After Ever Happy, the fourth and supposedly was to be final chapter of this toxic ass franchise that I have not been a fan of. I have hated every single last one of these. All of them have made my worst movies of the year since 2019 in some capacity. Here we are at the fourth film, and obviously I had no excitement going into this whatsoever. These movies have been an absolute hell to get through, and of all of the franchises, all of the movies I reviewed in my 6 years or on YouTube since 2015 with my first channel that got taken down, this has to be the worst franchise I've ever had to review. This has been absolutely exhausting. This is directed by Castille Landon, based on the book of the same name by Anna Todd, and we have another new writer, of course. Stars the same cast from After 1 and 2 with some recasting. A shocking truth about a couple's families emerges. The two lovers discover that they are not so different from each other. Tessa is no longer the sweet, simple, good girl she was when she met Hardin, any more than he is the cruel, moody boy that she felt so hard for. Judging by Deckter alone, with secrets of their family emerges, which this is also in the fourth book, which I believe I've never read the book, that had a little bit of curiosity here. I did want to see what secrets that they give out, and I was said, as much as I was dreading this, I was like, as much as I'm not looking forward to this, if they play their cards right, this fourth movie could be so ridiculous that I could end up finding it kind of hilarious. And while once again there were some unintentionally funny moments, unfortunately, this is not in the camp of so bad is good. As far as any positives to the movie go, I will say there were some interesting ideas here with the size of the family. You have Hardin in this movie who's going through some personal drama of his own involving his family, his fatherhood thing with his dad. You have Tessa who's going through the wake of a personal tragedy, so with her family, and then the relationship is somewhat starting to try to get some sustainability. I felt like the direction for Castille Landon, who's having to work with some very piss poor material. Castille Landon, she is trying her best in the direction department, and I think her direction is fine. It does at least try in terms of its direction to give us some moments and to give us some motivation to where we can sympathize with these two characters and what they're going through to some extent. It does try to heighten up some tension, as this was initially supposed to be the end of the series. The cinematography here is also fine, and as well the soundtrack here is also fine. The soundtrack is not going to win anything grand, but it is a nice soundtrack to listen to. I will say at least it's short. It's not an hour and 35 minutes, so I'll give you that.
I just keep dragging you into my shit, Tessa, and it's not fair.
Unfortunately, you can have interesting ideas and some fine direction all you want, but this movie still suffers from every single last thing I have dreaded dearly about these After movies, and I'm just gonna say this right now. This movie suffers from every single problem that I've had with the original. Once again, the two leads, even though they try to make us feel some sympathy with these guys, they're still very disinteresting. They're still in this whole verbally toxic, abusive relationship that is just so uncontrolling, so unhealthy, so unstable that there are moments in this movie where Hardin is, while he's not as much controlling as he was in the other three because of what he's going through, there are moments still with him that I feel like, okay, he's still acting a little different. He's still acting like a class-ass bitch. That's basically what it feels like when it comes to him. There's moments in this movie where he constantly keeps saying to Tessa, I'm not the one for you. I have to, you should leave. You need to be happy. You're dealing with your own tragedies. And I was like, why am I agreeing with him? He's the unlikable prick of this. Tessa is no better. She keeps going back to this character. There are some moments where she's just saying, I thought I can fix you. I thought I can try to help you. They are really trying to make us really sympathize, as this is supposed to be the last one. Unfortunately not. At least here, there is a lot more things going on here that they kind of try and deal with here that I think works, but it still suffers from the characters not being as likable as it was. The side characters aren't even that better either, with the exception of Landon and his little girlfriend, played by Madura. And you have other actors like Ariel Kerbal, who's very wasted, which that leads me into the acting. The acting in this movie mostly is fine from some of the supporting characters like Madura and Chance Palermo, who takes over for Shane McGee as Landon. Clearly, you can tell that almost everyone in this entire cast, with the exception of those two, even Hero Fiennes Tiffin and Josephine Langford, are just looking at these scripts, and you can tell by the looks on their face, as much as they're trying to act around this shit, you can tell that they absolutely do not want to do this anymore. You can tell that they're just fucking fed up with it, which is pretty much how I'm feeling, because I'm fucking fed up with this franchise as well. Romance is still so toxic that it doesn't even try to justify its own reasoning and its own logic to why we should care. Again, this is why you don't try to legalize abusive relationships and shit like that, because you're playing with fire and you're playing a very dangerous game with this. I've said this in my reviews of the first three. Even rewatching the first three, it just makes me question why anyone thinks that being in a toxic relationship with a bad boy who won't respect you is a good idea. I don't even know why the hell girls think it's sexy to be taking control from a guy who's controlling you. Basically, you're just showing how invulnerable you are and how much pain you are willing to take instead of getting the fuck out of Dodge. Once again, the love scenes are very tame. You would think for the sequels to this first movie, which the first movie was PG-13, these are R-rated for whatever reason, you would think with the R rating they were able to get a little bit more kinky, a little bit more tense, a little bit, at least somewhat interesting.
There's a formula to it. A very simple formula!
But no. Once again, the sex scenes feel pretty much tame. It's basically the whole been there and done that 50 Shades handbook, where you have to play a song over the love scenes, and I'm not really enjoying them at all. Credit to the actors for actually doing that. I will give credit, even with intimacy coordinators, but it just doesn't really feel anything there. There are some unintentionally funny, stupid lines in this movie. Like, I thought I could fix you, or those lines with Hardin, those lines with some of the other characters that I just wrapped my head around the script. I'm like, how the hell did the script even get greenlit? Out of the same boring, lazy, stilted, cliche, tired-ass dialogue you will hear on something like the fucking Hallmark Channel. And I don't even like the Hallmark Channel. It just feels like we've been through this already. Try something different. I will give you credit for trying to do something with some characterization, but with the first three movies, you had 3 other movies to try and get us to feel some sympathy with Hardin, and you failed greatly. Even the same thing with Tessa with some things. You do feel a little bit of sympathy because he did force her to break up with her high school sweetheart in the first one. But after that, it's just like, nah. The pacing in this movie is 95 minutes. It's short, but it also feels like there was a lot of things that got cut out. Because this was initially supposed to be 2 hours, an hour and 59 minutes. 1 minute close to 2 hours. So I don't know what all got cut. I don't know if there was some studio interference by Anna Todd. I don't know. And I don't really care. If all of that shit wasn't bad enough, this movie pulls the stupidest fucking thing that they could have done in this fucking movie. What am I talking about? I don't care if I'm spoiling this for anybody. I don't care. Because this movie does not deserve any type of spoilers. It doesn't deserve nothing out of you. No money, no time, no energy, not even when it hits streaming service. I'm saving you that. Thank me.
Oh, hell no.
This movie has the freaking nerve. It has the fucking nerve to end with a setup for the last movie.
What the fuck? This is fucking insane! Squidward!
I've had to endure 4 movies of this crap, and to quote Peter Sarsgaard from Orphan, I can't do it anymore. 4 movies of this toxic ass franchise. I'm done. I'm sick of it. Fuck off.
How do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up?
I don't care anymore, and they're doing another one of this, plus the fucking prequel. Don't get me wrong, all of this cast, Josephine Langford, Hera Fiennes Tiffin, they do the best that they can for what is required of them, but you can't do that. You can't just hype everybody up saying this is going to be the last one, just to get to the first 2 acts and the 3rd act of this movie, only to leave us on a fucking cliffhanger to say we got one more coming out of it. Ha 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 ha! Fuck y'all. I don't know why this whole after series has to be a thing. This is officially my least favorite movie franchises ever. If I had to make a list of my least favorite movie franchises and do it as a video, guess what? This will be at the top of the list. Fuck that. I'm not watching after everything. I don't want to see how this ends. This is where I'm going to stop. I don't know why anyone thought these after movies was a good idea, especially the fact that people are so sick of this toxic ass shit that these movies don't even get the wide release they need anymore. Between this 365 Days trilogy was just ended last month, and the 50 Shades trilogy, this is pretty clear to me this series is starting to die off a little bit. I don't know why Anna Todd thinks these movies, turning these movies into books was a good thing. I don't know why people think that being in a toxic relationship is a good thing. And for 2 actors who are trying to get their rise, which I do give them credit for trying and showing up to work on these movies, especially with Josephine Langford and Hera Fiennes Tiffin, 2 people who are new coming actors who started out in a few things like Half Blood Prince and Wish Upon and such. I don't know why the fuck they allowed their names to be put on this piece of shit. I have had it up to here with this franchise. I don't want to talk about this franchise anymore once I do this ranking and this episode with my friend Kenneth for the 6 Geeks podcast where we rip these movies apart one more time. They can do better than this, and I pray to God that after the last after movie, I pray to God that they do find that one project that people will say, oh, this guy can actually act. Josephine Langford can actually turn some good work when she's not in the after series. But as it stands, I'm pretty sure they regret doing these movies. What, give it a few years. Just like with Kristen Stewart, Rob Pattinson, Taylor Lautner. Just like with Dakota Johnson. All in all, guys, if you couldn't even tell already, I hate this film. This is my least favorite movie of the year. This is my least favorite franchise. And even though there were some things I didn't mind, this movie is getting the modification of me telling you, fuck this toxic ass franchise by get the fuck out of my face. Don't bother with these movies. Don't go see it. Don't watch it. Don't talk about it. Even if you are somewhat curious about these movies, please, I'm begging you, wait until streaming or wait until it comes out at the $5 bin store. I'm sure you will suffer better punishment by waiting there than to watch this in the theater. Because this is a waste of time and it will be a waste of your money. And to that, this has been an absolute hell to get through for as long as I fucking live. Even if I do have a future girlfriend in the future, I will never watch these fucking movies again. Now that I'm done talking about this. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to my channel right here. I have plenty more content as far as movies, TV, and anime and music goes. I will also leave a playlist here and something here if you guys want to check out what I'm about. Join the Epictasticness, stay epitastic, and you guys keep it cool.